Oh my God. No, that sounds honestly like short answer. That sounds like control.
It's a very thin line how we accept love, how we communicate love, and then when we jump into the controlling stage.
That's also like something you need to pay attention to. Who is he surrounding himself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with?
No, and also I feel like we act according to how we feel from where we are coming.
No, sacando todos nuestros traumas. La pobre Camila, she just wanted to know if that
She's
was
like-
like kind of controlling or not. Y nosotros ya, oh no. Like... Hi everyone. Today we have another interesting topic. Anna, can you let us know what it is about?
Sure. We got a letter from Camila, and it says, Hi, Anna and Fer. I need your perspective. My boyfriend is super caring and protective. Always checking in and wanting to know where I'm at. At first, it felt sweet, but now he gets upset if I don't answer right away and doesn't like me going out with certain friends. He says it's because he loves me. I'm wondering, is this love or control? A ver, mi Fer, aquí la mujer empoderada is gonna talk.
Oh my God, no, that sounds honestly like short answer. That sounds like control.
Okay,
like,
that's it. That's all the episode. It's control.
Control, amiga, control. That's
but
not
why,
love.
Fer? Why, Fer? Where you think is control?
Why? I think that I mean, first of all, it depends how old they are. Like, how old is your boyfriend? How old are you, Camila? Because I feel like when we're growing up, we tend to be a little bit controlling because we're, like first experiencing what love is, right? What a relationship is. How is it supposed to be? So we're not mature enough to, be able to communicate and to understand our own emotions. So that's one thing. But then, ya los grandecitos también, you sometimes find people that are 40, 30, 50, even 50 years old, and they're still controlling, right? That's something that they never fixed or that they never cared to I'm going to say in Spanish, sanar. So honestly, this to me sounds like he's being controlling. He's because he shouldn't have a say on who do you talk to, who do you hang out with. If you're amiga, let's say you're in the restroom and you're not answering because you're doing your thing there, and he gets upset, that's not a good thing.
It's not normal.
Honestly, what do you think, Anita?
It's a very thin line between how we accept love, how we communicate love, and then when we jump into the controlling stage. I have a couple of experiences that were very painful, very hurtful, but also taught me a lot of things about not being loved when they are to the point of controlling people. I had to confess that I've been in stages in my life where I've been acting very toxica, controlling as well, because that's my nature. I'm a controller since I was little. I feel like going back to what Fer was talking about, traumas from my childhood, I feel like if I can control something, I feel safe. But that's a big issue. Now, regarding love, I feel like it can be very dangerous when you don't set boundaries and when you don't communicate with your partner at the moment that you are not feeling safe anymore, that you feel, too overwhelmed or too that you can even breathe. But definitely, if he's not trusting you because you're texting someone, there is another issue right there too. There is no trust in the relationship.
Right.
And I did my little research just to let you guys know what the signs are of true love. True love has
Anita
to...
and
ya
the
sabes.
research.
Aquí ya.
Traigo los receipts, traigo los facts.
Traigo los recibos, Justin Baldoni. Speaking of love.
Oh my God.
We
I
gotta
know.
talk about it first. We have to talk about that.
Yes.
Love is respect. You guys have to share the same values. When you don't share the same values, there is gonna be a big issue right there. You gotta be able to express your opinions. You're gonna be able to set boundaries. But also, love is freedom. Like, you have to be yourself. Once you start losing your self personality, your self identity in a relationship, there is no love anymore. Also, is trust. He's not trusting you if he's not letting you text people or call people, or if he's getting mad because you don't pick up the phone right away. There is no trust. Also, there has to be support from each other to the relationship, and communication. That's the big thing. Like, if you're feeling this weight right now, you have to tell him, and this is a perfect time to set those boundaries. Because, like
Exactly.
Fer say, when we are younger, and even at the start in the relationship, like I'm 42 now, and even at the start of the relationship with my husband, there were those moments where we both didn't feel right because we were not
Right.
communicating. He didn't know what I like. He didn't know what makes me feel bad. For example, I'm gonna throw stuff here, and my husband speaks English, so he's gonna be able to
Ooh,
listen to
you.
this podcast. He had a friend that he claimed they were very close friends when he was
Uh-huh.
single. Okay, they worked together
Okay.
because he worked in Virginia for a long time for a company, defense company. Anyways, his problem was that at the start of our relationship, when we were dating, he told me too much about that woman. I think that sometimes we have to learn what to share and what not to share with our partners. And I don't know if are gonna agree with that, Fer. But
Are we talking about like an ex? Like a woman that
well,
you're.
well, he claimed that she was one of his best friends. He never dated the
Oh,
girl.
oh,
They
gotcha.
were
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were coworkers. That they met at work, and they were very close. But he had the problem of describing the girl like too well. So she was Russian, or she's Russian, and I don't know if you agree with me, but Russians don't have very good reputation regarding stealing men from other women. He always talked
Okay.
about her like being pretty, being very empowered, being very smart, being very like almost perfect in everything. So since he started talking about this friend that way, for me was like a relax, like that's too much, you know. But we just
Yeah.
met and we started talking. But once we commit to a relationship, I had to communicate to him that I didn't like that relationship, that friendship that made me feel uncomfortable and I didn't feel respected if he kept that relationship the way he had it at that moment. And I had to say it because I was 35 already when we started dating. So I was not gonna waste my time. And if that friendship was gonna be too important for him, he wasn't ready to commit to a relationship because any women in our nuestros cabales, we wouldn't accept that. And
Right.
it took us a couple of arguments and a couple of like moments that we had to sit and talk about it. But I was like, I don't feel comfortable. And I put it this way because I had a lot of male friends too. I was single for 9 years, and I had a lot of
Yeah.
male friends that were so funny. They were attractive. They were like good friends to me. We used to hang out when I was single, but I was single. But I knew, like, I'm smart. I'm not stupid. I knew that if my husband or my boyfriend at that time will see me hanging out with them the same way I was doing it when I was single, it was gonna be a problem. And they were attractive people. And let's be honest, Fair. I believe that men and women can be friends, but also
You believe that we can be friends? Like we can
I think we
or we
can be
can't?
I think we can be
We can.
friends, but things change in life. And I'm still friend with
Right.
some of them, but they are in a relationship now too, and now we hang out together. Like for example, one of my friends from when I was single is an Argentinian, Fran, but he got married too, and now we are friends. The four of us, and my husband knows him and her, and we love them, but it's different. But I'm not hanging out with my single guy friends anymore because it will be weird for my husband, you know? So I think all those things we have to be able to communicate. Y también estaban bien guapos. O sea, y for someone that is not like confident, or anyone, even if you think that you're confident, I wouldn't like my husband, because there was something going on at the start of our relationship that he was like, oh, I'm gonna go. I think they were meeting a bunch of like coworkers for like anniversary, you know, like when you meet with your friends from college, or when you meet reunion. And he was like, oh, like we all are gonna get together and she's gonna be there, and he was planning on going. And the way he described her, I was like, hey, like that doesn't sound like you're just gonna go say, hey buddy, and like bounce your shoulders together. So I feel like that's why communication is important. Like what you don't like, what makes you feel uncomfortable of someone else. So in that sense, I get your boyfriend, but if it's a constant issue and he doesn't overcome that, ¿cómo se dice? Insecurity, because I have to accept it. It was an insecurity in me as well. That's why I didn't like that friend, because I was not confident. It's gonna create a lot of issues. Ya aquí solté toda la sopa y mi marido va a decir, ¡ah!
Ya vi. Todo el chisme. No.
What do you think, Fer?
I mean, I'm not necessarily like that.
Your boyfriend doesn't have a Russian friend?
A Russian friend? No. But he has like best friends, you know, that are not Russian. But he has like best friends that are like super guapas and like, you know, like they're ladies, I guess. And I don't know, it's just like so weird, because at the end of the day, he doesn't give me like any reasons to, you know, not trust him. O sea, no, como que no desconfío. Like, I know they're very like close and they've known each other for years and years, but to me it's like, I don't know, I guess like I see it in a way. Let's say like worst of the worst, he's just, you know, que tiene otras intenciones, or she, or whatever. And to me it's like, well, he's the one that loses. Like, if he wants to go that way, that's fine. O sea, you know? O sea, it's queda en él. That's the way I think of things. Very different is, you know, like being with someone and then having this someone being like so descriptive of this person, talking about this person all the time, talking to her all the time. So there are some things that I can totally understand that don't make you feel safe, or that you can trust this, like the person that you're with, because he's talking with his friend all the time. And by friend, I mean like a girlfriend or something. Because yeah, I had like exes también. I remember one of my last ex, he had this friend. So it was like so weird, because he had this friend and she was like obsessed with him. That's how he made it sound. So I'm not sure, because I never met her, which is another red flag. Because I'm like, if this is your best friend, like, why haven't I met her, right? But she would always, like, he would say that she would always be talking to him and, like, looking for him and, like, you know, making sure he was okay, blah, blah, blah. And I never met her. And we dated for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Then we broke up. Yes, then we broke up, and then he went his way, I went my way, and after a year, we got back together. And I still never met her, and he even confessed that he kind of like dated her. He tried to date her for like a couple of weeks, but it didn't work, so they stayed friends. And I was like, well, that's weird, you know? Como que that's like the friend that you've been telling me for years and years that's like your best friend. And I don't know, it was like so weird. Then we broke up again, and then this friend who I've never met, she called me one day because he was trying to get back with me, and I was like, no. So I blocked his number, I blocked him from everywhere, And this lady, she calls me one day and she's like, "Oh, but he loves you. He wants to go, for you to guys like get back together. He loves you. Like he has told me that he loves you." And I'm like, I was trying to be polite and I'm like, "Thank you, but I mean, I don't even know you. Like I never
Yeah.
met you.
And I don't like you.
So
I don't know you and I don't like you.
honestly, I wouldn't care. At that point, I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't care. I was like, maybe he was just being like super exaggerating, and maybe she wasn't as obsessed with him as he would say.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, como que me fui por el lado de ella. I'm like, I'm a girl's girl. Now I'm not gonna go with this guy. Like,
Yeah.
por alguna razón, we didn't work out. So, um, yeah, if it's like kind of like what happened with my ex, I totally understand. Like, you're
Yeah.
just like, I get that you don't feel comfortable, that you
Yeah.
don't feel like you can trust him. Like, that's one thing. But if this person is making you feel like, hey, you can talk to me about anything. If you have questions, if you're feeling some sort of like insecurity, like just tell me, and I'm super like open to tell you like, oh no, look, this
Yeah.
is this and that, and this is my friend from years ago. And if you know this person, like has your boyfriend, Camila, ever met the people that you're hanging out with? Because that's important in a relationship
Yeah.
as well.
No, and also I feel like we act according to how we feel from where we are
Mm-hmm.
coming. Because we all have heridas that we need to work
Totally.
on. For example,
Yeah.
in my case with my husband, it took me a while to trust because I came from a really bad divorce and I came from a
Wow.
relationship with when they cheat on me. So I was very
Mm-hmm.
paranoid, but also I learned, and that's why I took forever to meet someone because I wanted to heal first, and I wanted to understand, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be able to communicate. Because in my first marriage, I was never gonna say anything. I will be quiet, even if I was jealous or I didn't like something, because I felt
Yeah.
like, oh no, that's no. I'm gonna look like a crazy wife, a crazy woman. So I let him do
Like you
whatever he
didn't want
wanted.
you didn't want to be the toxica.
Exacto. And I didn't want
Yeah.
to look weak or that I was not capable to take those things. And it ended really bad, really, really bad. But I learned my lesson and I was like, I know if I don't like something, and let's be honest, Fer, we women have like a sixth sense. Like we know what something is not okay there. Like we feel it. And with this relationship with my husband now, I wanted to be clear from the start. And same with him. Like I knew it was not okay for me to hang out with my like handsome, good, like buenos partidos male friends because it was not my life anymore. I was not Ana soltera. Now I was in a relationship. And it takes also maturity for us to say we are in a different stage and I love you, I respect you, I want you to feel good, so let's do things right. And
Right.
Like I don't know if it was hard for him to let that friendship go, or I don't think so because he seems fine. And also if it was a true friendship, why she never tried to approach me, or why they never tried to we meet together, like for me to meet her.
Exactly.
So of course there was something there that until today I feel proud of expressing myself and saying I don't like that friendship, and because that helped
Right.
us. And we have a lot of trust right now. Like we trust each other. We talk about whatever it makes us feel uncomfortable. So I think, Camila, that's something that you have to start doing with your partner. Obviously you are not feeling good, and some of the signs for control, it's that they are possessive. And it sounds like this
Mm-hmm.
guy, it's a little possessive. Isolation, it's when they start cutting off your friends. And I shouldn't say that because you say
Yeah.
I cut that friendship from my husband, but he has more friends. And when they start asking you to leave your friends behind, it's a little also like a red
Yeah.
flag. Jealousy. Um, Jealousy can be very dangerous, Fair. I don't know
Of
how
course.
you feel about jealousy or if
I
you.
mean, I feel like jealousy in relationships, when there's a lot of jealousy, there's also a lot of control. So because going back to this ex that I was just talking about, he would be jealous of a friend, like a girlfriend that I had, because she's lesbian, and he thought that I was like that I had something with her, when in reality, like, nada que ver, nothing ever happened between my friend and I still talk to her, and it's like, and I've talked to her, like, I met her when we were in elementary.
Well,
So it's like a long time, friendship. But exactly, like when you're jealous, you're also controlling in a relationship. So this guy was like very, he would say stuff to me kind of like if he knew, like if it was a fact, like, oh, it's because you're with this friend. It's because you had something to do with this friend. Like, you like girls as well. You like guys and girls. So it's like, I cannot trust you because you basically like everything. And I was like, I remember like laughing and like crying at the same time because I was like, what the fuck are you saying? And it's like, it can be like terrible. It's a terrible
yeah.
experience when you're with someone who doesn't trust you, and who's also not able to communicate with you, because clearly there's something that's bothering him. But the way that this person was communicating, it was terrible, because he would be like señalándome all the time,
Aggressive.
like, you're doing this is wrong, exactly, like, you're being, yeah, he was being aggressive. He was calling me some sort of like different things, and none of them were good. So it's like, yeah, it can be terrible, like you're saying.
Yeah, and we go back to I don't know, like I always think about domestic violence because I grew up in a home with domestic violence, and it's so easy to fall into that when you don't communicate from the start, when you don't set those boundaries, and
Yeah.
when you don't take decisions. Because I don't I know my dad loved my mom. I know when they met, they were so in love. They were young, and I know my mom loved him so much too. I know when they got married, they had big dreams for their family. But my mom was so quiet, so humble. My mom
Yeah.
suffered a lot of aggressions at her house as well. So she was running away from that. No one ever told her what she deserved or what she was worth of. So she got into this relationship with my dad with a lot of damage from her childhood.
Right.
And then the same with my dad. My dad came from a house where the dad abandoned them. The mom was an alcoholic. So my dad became an alcoholic since the age of 12. He was drinking to not feel what was going on at
Yeah.
home. So he got into this relationship not knowing how to communicate, not knowing how to love, not knowing how to ask to receive love, you know? So they both had a lot going on. But because they didn't communicate, they didn't set those boundaries, my parents' marriage became nasty, Fer. Nasty to the point that
Yeah.
I'm still traumatized for growing up in that house with domestic violence. And I know my mom is still traumatized. She hasn't healed so many things that she went through. And my dad just passed away not too long ago. And it makes me sad to know that she passed away not knowing how to love for real, and not knowing how to
Yeah.
receive love, any kind of love from a partner, love from his own kids, us. And it's terrible. So we have to stop those issues. And I'm sorry, Camila, but if you're feeling this way, this is the moment that you need to start doing something. And if he
Yeah.
still has to heal a lot of his own traumas, let him do his work. You do your own work because we are no saviors here. And I think that was another
Oh
big
no.
issue I had. For many years, I wanted to save my dad. I wanted to help my dad, and I wasn't saving myself. And we
Right.
women have that issue very often. We women, maybe the culture we came from, we feel like we have to save everybody. And it's when
Right.
all these chaos happen So you acknowledge the problem. You know there is something going on with your relationship. You are talking about it because you are telling us, you are trusting us to give you advice or to listen to you. Sometimes we don't even need advice. We just want someone to listen to us. Now you gotta start working in that communication with him, setting those boundaries and creating a plan. And if that doesn't work, I'm sorry, Camila, but that may not be the one, and that no may be the relationship you deserve. And he deserves to. He
Exactly.
needs help. He needs help as well.
Right. No, it's crazy because sometimes like we, I think setting up like boundaries, it's easy. What's not easy is respecting our own boundaries because we feel like, oh, we're so in love with someone, with this person, but but he doesn't like me to do this, to wear this type of clothes, to talk to these people, to, like, I understand it's like a very thin line, like you were saying. Maybe there are some friendships that are like, and that happened to me too, to be honest, with the same ex. Oh my god, like that was a toxic
Que
relationship. Oh
diga
my
el
god.
nombre y yo digo el nombre de
Ya
la
sé,
rusa.
¿verdad? Oh my god. Chisme, chisme. But honestly, like, I would I couldn't get along with his friends, like guy friends, because they were like so misogynos. They were like so, like, they would look down into girls like, oh, she's fat, oh, she's this, oh, she's that, oh my gosh, she's ugly. And I was like, really? Like, that's how you guys talk about, like, these are your friends? I had a hard time hanging out with them because to me they weren't, a mí no me nutría nada. Like, they weren't, to me
Good
they
people.
weren't like, oh, these are like the greatest friends ever. No. So, that's also like something you need to pay attention to. Who is he surrounding himself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Maybe he's trying to tell you like, hey, your friends are not helping here. Sometimes it could be true, but at the same time, if you are so sure of what you have, if you have your own, if you have already set your boundaries, you need to respect that. And I know that sometimes that's like super hard because you love that person. You feel or you believe that you love this person and that this person is trying to look out for you and trying to be good for you. And sometimes like, we end up not respecting our own self just to
Loving
be in that
ourselves.
relationship.
Yeah. And you know what's the worst part, Fer? We don't even know that we are not loving ourselves. We don't even know that
Yeah.
we are not respecting us because we may come from a place where it was normal or it was okay, or he's jealous to you, or it's because he loves you. We have so many things that we
Yeah.
have to work on, but definitely you don't feel comfortable, Camila. So I think that's a start point. And as I say
Yeah.
before, talk to him, set boundaries, seek for help because we have to tell you too, and for all the audience, we are not experts. We are speaking from our own experiences, but seek for
Oye,
help.
aquí sacando todo
Aquí la psicóloga
nuestro...
sí, con los traumas.
No, sacando todos nuestros traumas. La pobre Camila, she just wanted to know if that
She's
was
like,
like kind of controlling or not. Y nosotros ya, oh no,
aquí
like this
soltamos todo
happened
el
with my
trauma.
ex.
But I bet a lot of you listening have been through this. Like, this is
Oh
very
yeah.
common in relationships. This is part of growing too. This is part of getting mature into this so complicated world of love, self love, and loving another
Exactly.
person. So, but thank you for trusting us. I hope our experiences help you. If not, if didn't leave you more confused, but we wish you the best. We hope you can find a healthy place for you first, and then a healthy relationship. Right, Fer?
Así es, Camila. We send you all our love. And
Real
we
love.
hope to see you guys. Real love. Real and amor muy sano. And we
Well,
hope to see you guys on the next episode of Naked Questions. You can find us on social media. How they can find us, Anita? Tell us.
at Naked Questions and Instagram. And also you can follow us in social media as well. My handle is at Rollos de Mujeres, and Fer is
I am Fernanda Lefon.
eso. Déjame ir a ver si mi marido no tiene otra nueva amiga, ¿eh?
Oye, ya sé.
Bye bye, guys.